spicy ladies. And let's be honest, asking for intimacy can feel complicated. We live in a world that tells spicy ladies to be confident and empowered. Yet, when it comes to initiating intimacy, suddenly there's shame. Realize that their fear of rejection or the worry that he'll pull away, or worse, label her as needy. And that's exactly why most spicy ladies don't ask. They wait for the man to make the first move physically, emotionally, sexually, because they've been taught that men should lead in that area. But what happens when he doesn't? What if you crave connection but fear rocking the boat? Here's the truth. A confident woman doesn't just sit back and wait. She knows how to express her needs. Not by begging, not by pressuring, and certainly not by manipulating, but by inviting into something even more powerful than sex: emotional safety, trust, and deep desire. And that's the real secret. Because when you ask a man for intimacy in the right way, you don't just turn him on, you draw him in. You make him feel wanted and respected. And that's the combo that gets his walls down and his passion up. So today, I want to give you 3 psychological tricks. Yes, real strategies that show you how to ask a man for intimacy without killing the spark and instead making him crave that closeness even more. Let's dive in. There's something incredibly powerful about the words you choose when you want to spark intimacy. Most people underestimate just how influential language is. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. When a spicy lady tries to initiate intimacy with a man, the temptation is to be direct or worse, accusatory. Think of phrases like, "Why don't we ever have sex anymore?" Or, "Do you even find me attractive?" While these may come from a place of vulnerability, what a man hears is pressure, criticism, and emotional weight, and that shuts him down. Here's what you need to understand. Men don't respond to pressure. They respond to invitation. A request wrapped in pressure feels like a burden, but an invitation wrapped in desire feels magnetic. That's where sensual language comes in. Sensual language isn't about being graphic or dirty. It's about painting a picture, evoking a feeling, and awakening his imagination. For example, instead of confronting him with, "We never do anything anymore," say, "I've been thinking about that night when you kissed me against the kitchen counter. I can't stop remembering how good that felt." Notice what happens when you use this kind of phrasing. It doesn't demand anything. It doesn't accuse. It simply reminds. And that reminder becomes a spark. It reawakens the moments that made him feel alive, wanted, and deeply connected to you. Right now, if you're still watching, I hope this video can help you. Your comments motivate me so much, so I can make more videos which you like. So hit that subscribe button and leave me a message. Let's continue. You're not saying, "I need you to fix something." You're saying, "I remember something beautiful we created, and I'd love to feel that again with you." That's seductive. It's respectful. It's emotionally intelligent. And here's the psychological trick behind it. Choosing sensual language activates memory and emotion in his brain. When you speak in terms of how something made you feel, not what he didn't do, you allow him to step into that memory and want to recreate it. You shift the dynamic from him feeling like he has to perform to him wanting to please and connect with you. Men are incredibly responsive to being desired, but only if it feels natural. They're not transactional. So, when you use language that celebrates a connection, instead of focusing on the lack, you put both of you in a place of curiosity and craving, not conflict. Try this. The next time you're feeling the need for closeness, say something playful like, "You know what I was thinking about today? That time we couldn't even wait to get to the bedroom." Then leave it there. Let the pause speak for itself. That pause is where intrigue builds. It's not manipulation, it's presence. So many spicy ladies try to talk a man into intimacy through logic or complaints. But connection isn't built through logic. It's built through emotion, and emotion responds to tone, memory, and suggestion. That's why sensual language is your secret weapon. You're not trying to control him. You're awakening something in him. The part that wants to chase, to connect, and to feel like the man who drives you wild. Use your words not to pressure, but to play. That's how you ask for intimacy without ever actually asking. And he won't be able to stop thinking about you. Would you like to move on to the second point and expand on that one next? One of the biggest mistakes people make when they try to initiate intimacy is doing it in the wrong moment. Picture this. He's halfway through answering a work email or scrolling through his phone, and you suddenly drop, "Hey, we never could anymore," or "We should do something later tonight." He hears it, but he doesn't feel it. Why? Because there's no emotional context. It's a statement hanging in a dry, disconnected space. The truth is, intimacy isn't something that begins in the bedroom. It begins in the atmosphere you create. If you want to ask a man for intimacy, don't start with words. Start with a moment. This is where the psychological trick comes in. Men are much more likely to desire physical closeness when their emotional and sensory environment has been primed. You need to build the moment first. That means soft lighting, gentle touch, playfulness, shared laughter, or even just a meaningful glance. It can happen while cooking dinner together, sharing a cozy space, or dancing slowly in your living room for no reason. These are the in-between moments that lower his guard and elevate his emotional availability. Let's say you want to spend an intimate evening together. Instead of saying, "I want to have sex tonight," try saying, "Let's have a night just for us." No distractions, no phones, just you and me. That alone plants the seed. Then create the kind of environment that naturally draws him in. Maybe with soft music, a lingering hug, or a slow whisper in his ear that tells him, "I've missed feeling close to you." See what you're doing here? You're not demanding intimacy. You're inviting it through the setting, through the mood, through the moment. Because men, just like women, need space to shift gears. You can't go from business mode or distraction mode into deep physical connection. That's why creating the moment is so powerful. It gives him permission to drop everything else and be present with you. Here's what happens when you master these things. He doesn't feel like he's being put on the spot. He feels chosen. He feels desired in a way that draws him into the moment with you, rather than feeling like he's being pulled out of something else. So before you ever say a word, ask yourself, what kind of moment am I creating for this request to land in? Because the truth is, the moment is the message. When you're intentional about crafting that shared experience, intimacy becomes a natural extension of the connection you've already begun to build. And that's when it doesn't just happen once. It becomes a rhythm, a language, a way of relating that makes him crave more than just your body. He craves the experience of being with you. This might be the most powerful psychological trick of them all, because it shifts the entire dynamic of how intimacy is experienced between you and a man. So many people make the mistake of asking for intimacy in a way that feels like pressure or performance. It might sound like, "You never want me anymore," or "Do you even find me attractive?" or even, "We should be doing this more often." And while those statements might be born from vulnerability, what he hears is guilt, expectation, and obligation. And nothing kills desire faster than that. But when you speak the language of desire, you flip the script. You shift from "I need this from you" to "I want to experience this with you." You're not placing a demand. You're offering an invitation. Let me give you an example. Instead of saying, "Why haven't we been intimate lately?" say something like, "You drive me crazy when you touch me like that," or "I can't stop thinking about last time," or even just a teasing, "You have no idea what you do to me." It's playful. It's emotionally safe. It turns the spotlight away from performance and onto attraction. That's powerful. Men, especially strong, emotionally grounded men, want to feel desired, not obligated. They want to feel like they're turning you on, not like they're checking a box to satisfy you. When you express your desire in a way that excites rather than accuses, you make him feel like he's being pulled into something electric, not pushed into something expected. And here's what happens. The more you use this kind of language, the more he associates intimacy with pleasure, excitement, and connection, not pressure or performance. It becomes an experience he looks forward to, not something he has to manage. This kind of expression also subtly communicates self-worth. It says, "I know what I want. I'm not afraid to express it, but I'm inviting you into this, not begging for it." That energy is irresistible. It makes him respect your boundaries and crave your presence all at once. So when it's time to ask for intimacy, ditch the guilt, the expectations, and the awkward talks. Replace them with warm, confident, full language that reveals your inner world, your desire, and your joy in sharing that experience with him. Because the real secret isn't in asking for intimacy. It's in creating a space where intimacy feels like a natural expression of the desire between you. And when you speak to a man with that kind of emotional clarity and seductive vulnerability, you don't just get physical intimacy. You get a man who wants to dive in body and soul because you've made it feel like the most exciting place he could possibly be. So here's the truth. No one tells you that you never need to beg a man for intimacy. When you ask from a place of self-worth, when you communicate from confidence, not fear, when you turn guilt into flirtation and pressure into playful curiosity, you don't chase connection. You create it. Spicy ladies who truly captivate men, who make them crave intimacy on a soul-deep level, are the ones who understand this one key truth. Intimacy isn't about performance. It's an invitation. When you express your needs not with blame but with desire, not with fear but with playfulness, not with pressure but with passion, you flip a switch inside him that makes him want to show up for you emotionally and physically. So the next time you're feeling disconnected or craving closeness, don't overthink it. Don't suppress it. Don't twist yourself trying to get the mood right. Just remember the confident whisper, the bold smile, or the teasing text that says, "I can't stop thinking about you." It can do more than a serious conversation ever could. And if you want more tools like these psychological switches that build connection, deepen attraction, and bring back the spark, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because this isn't about games. It's about learning to express your truth in a way that makes love feel like freedom, not pressure, for both of you. And when you do that, you don't just get the intimacy you want, you get the intimacy you deserve.